Hey friends, if you're here watching the replay, thank you so much for stopping by. My name is Svava Brooks and I am a trauma recovery coach. And I'm usually here on Periscope and YouTube Tuesdays and Thursdays, 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, where I answer questions about healing and recovery after trauma. And I hang out with my fellow survivor thrivers as we work our way through my book, Releasing Your Authentic Self, one day, one page at a time. So I welcome you. And if you'd like to learn more about the coaching that I offer, one-on-one or group, please visit my website, svavabrooks.com. But thank you again in advance for the thumbs up and also for the hearts over here on Periscope. But if you're here live, hey Elizabeth, if you're right here right now, please say hello so I can welcome you. So we can start where we're at. That's what we always do when we first come together, check in. How are you feeling today? How are you doing, Elizabeth? I am very happy today because the sun came out. It's been rainy and gloomy in Portland over the last few days. I'm coming to you from Portland, Oregon. How is the weather where you're at, Elizabeth? You're in Spain, aren't you? So yes, over the last few days, the rain was starting to get to me. I needed some sunshine, but I've still been going out there and in the rain because moving my body, every single day I find is important for this body, the physical health and mental, emotional health of this being right here, this heart. So, but I enjoyed the sunshine today. Elizabeth says, I'm feeling bittersweet. The weather is very warm and nice. I hear you. I know. I understand. Hey, Rob. Hey, friend. How are you doing? Hey, Elizabeth. And hey, Denise. How are you doing? How are you guys? And my Periscope friends here, if you want to say hello and let me know your name and where you're from so we can welcome you. Struggling. Hey, Bev. Hey, friend. How are you doing? I hear you, Elizabeth. I hear you, friend. I hear you. I feel you. I see you. Wish we had sunshine, says Deb. Says Denise. I'm sorry. Mixing everybody's names up here. Our paddleboarding friend. That's right. Yes. I would gladly send you some sunshine, Denise, if I could. Elizabeth says, I'm really enjoying the sunshine, so she understands. Yep. Some days, especially those days when it's maybe harder to generate the inner sunshine, it's nice to be able to peek out the window and draw on some of that warmth and the sun up in the sky. I was doing that earlier. I went out there and like, oh, thank you. And as I speak, the clouds are coming in, so I'm glad I went. I usually go for my afternoon walk, but I went on the early side today. So how are we doing otherwise? 0 to 10, right? Would love to hear how your weekend went, and if we managed right. We talked together on Facebook on Friday. I mentioned doing something that sparks joy. Maybe one, I'm sorry, Elizabeth. Yeah, no, we have two Elizabeths here now. That's right. Elizabeth Spain, Elizabeth. So maybe Elizabeth, our US Elizabeth, what is it, EJ? Elizabeth says, yes, I'm trying to stay healthy and strong or aware through sunshine. I hear you. Your signal cut out, so you missed your card. Okay, you should have sent me a note. I should look it up. I wrote it down. I don't see the my note here on my desk, but I may be able to look it up for you. On Fridays, we hang out in Facebook and we play with cards. And I always pull a card for us as a group. And so I did pull a card for today that I'm going to share with you guys towards the end. So friends, I'm going to ask a favor. I'm going to ask us all a favor. So Elizabeth can go by EJ. All right. It may take us some time to, to straighten that out, but thank you. So we sometimes do this to anyone that's here and new with us when we have a tribe member that is having a hard time, then we drop everything. Right, guys? We drop everything. So this is what we do. You guys know what I'm doing. We all go right here. So everybody that is here with us live, or if you're here watching the replay, I'm asking that we take a couple deep breaths and just drop into our hearts. Just drop into our hearts right here, right now. There you go. Rob, you know the drill. So as we all drop into our hearts right now, because we know when one of us is struggling, all of us feel it. And from our hearts right now, we are all, with our loving thoughts and beautiful, kind, generous hearts, sending love to EJ, to our Elizabeth. So my friend EJ, just sit back and receive. Because as humans, we are all connected. And Elizabeth, I don't know if you are okay with it. Thank you, Bev. I would also be happy to send you some Reiki right now, along with everybody's love, but it's your choice. So if you would like me to send you some Reiki right now, all you have to do is to say, yes, I welcome Reiki. If not, that's quite all right as well. That's okay. Not comfortable with Reiki or not comfortable with our love. I understand. It's okay. It's okay. But we are here for you, my friend. This is the hardest part about being human, living in these bodies. We feel things, right? And for a long time, for very many of us, we've been struggling. I hear you. I hear you. We are just surrounding you with love, my friend. That's it. You don't have to do anything. Nothing is asked in return. Just is freely given, my friend. Because trust me, one day we could be the one asking for support, right? And so many of us here are blessed with big hearts. I understand. I know it's hard. I know. So even in the beginning, right? We may resist it. Our bodies may not want it, don't trust it. We understand. We do understand. We have been through that battle ourselves, and it can still come up. It can still come up. Well, this got my heart singing. I don't know about you guys, so thank you so much for all of you for taking a minute here to link our hearts together and to send love to our friend EJ that is struggling today. And I want to celebrate you for being honest about how you're feeling. Hey, Lynn. Hey, friend. How are you doing? Good to see you. Glad you're here. Glad you're here. How are you doing today? So thank you all for sending love and encouragement to our friend. I'm taking a peek here over onto our Facebook page to set up our conversation today. We are on day 147, right? One day at a time. We are making our way through the book. And again, if you're not a part of the closed Facebook group, that is okay. Please feel free to chime in, comment, ask questions. That's why we're here. But in our group, the topic of the day here from our book, I say, if you're often plagued with a feeling of anxiety, depression, sadness, or despair when you wake up in the morning, here's how to discover the cause of the dark moods, right? They don't just happen. There is a cause. So the practice, right? Observe your negative mood rather than ignore it, suppress it, or resist, right? Distract, resist, or give into it. Soon you will see what caused it. You will see it's caused by a situation that might happen in the future. How many of us here are good at playing the what if game? Now, right? Once we catch ourselves, when our nervous system, our body, our autopilot kicks in, sometimes before we even have our fully opened up our eyes to start our day, our nervous system has kicked in and off we go. And in our mind, we are playing out the risk assessment, the what if, the shoulds. Right? For many of us, those are the roots of that problem, meaning, right, that state. Our dark mood, our heavy mood is often caused by something that does not exist today. It's not in your space right here, right now, right? And I'm not talking about body memories, our history, things that happened to us, but slowly, right, becoming more aware of how much of the past is played out over and over and over again. And we keep placing that what if, the things that might happen, into our future. So the two questions that I asked in our group today: what worries about the future are troubling you today? And since no one can predict the future, how can you reframe those worries so they no longer cause anxiety, depression, or sadness, or despair? Now, I do want to reframe this a little bit, given our world, the state in our world. I am scrolling back here over to Facebook, over to YouTube to catch up. So thank you, Elizabeth. Thank you, Lynn. Good, I'm glad. Hey, Lady Leo, I didn't see you until now. Glad you're here. You're a pro, Denise. The what if plays like a broken record in my mind, and Denise agrees. Hey, Sue S., how are you doing? And Rob had a YouTube crash. Oh my goodness. Well, we're back. Looks like we're back. So yeah, so can anybody else relate to that, the what if playing out in our heads, like that broken record? Right? Anybody else? The worst case scenarios. We're going to talk a little bit about that today. And also maybe help to identify where some of that comes from. But like I did want to mention, right? Little reality check is that right now we are living through a time that's unprecedented, right? We have never been here before. And most of us, we don't know really how this is all going to play out and what to expect. And so for a lot of us, it's like really wearing our nervous systems out, because our mind is constantly pinging, okay, what's a historical perspective? Like what's the past that I can rely on, where I know what to expect here? And we don't have any. And our mind is going nuts. So in the back of our mind, it's like our mind is constantly, okay, worst case, worst case, worst case. So, and I think that's why a lot of people are feeling extremely overwhelmed, on top of already feeling overwhelmed. So, hey, Sue S., I'm so sorry to hear you had a car accident. Ugh. Oof. I hope you're okay. Are you okay? Yes, very sorry. Very sorry to hear about that. Lady Leo says, I do, but not as frequent now. Good. Excellent. And that's right. Once we understand a little bit about where it comes from, why it's here, why is it so persistent? Like this is a nervous system process. that if you're human, your body and your mind will do this. So she says, yes, just sore, got rear-ended. Oof. Oof. Well, I hope you're okay. I hope you didn't get a whiplash, or those can be very tricky to deal with. So I'm very, very sorry. Hope you're doing okay. Take good care, Sue. Take really good care of yourself. So I'm going to turn back to the Facebook page here and share a few of the comments from our group members that I had gotten permission to share with you. Rob, you didn't say share, so I'm asking you to give me a verbal share permission right now, or post it in the comment here. And also, Denise, I don't see a share here either. So, and I can understand if you do not want me to share that for you today, but I'm really glad that you shared that with us. So, and EJ, I did get your note. So thank you, but thank you for sharing in the community. So let's see here. So I am starting with Lady Leo, answering the two questions just to refresh our memory. What worries about the future are troubling you today? And since no one, right? Let me pause. That's the first question. What worries about the future are troubling you today? And I already mentioned, for a lot of us, right? There's a lot of concern about the uncertainty of the future, given what's happening in our world. So feel free to comment, share wherever you're at on that. Please do. And the second question was, since no one can predict the future, how can you reframe these worries so they no longer cause anxiety, depression, sadness, or despair? And so Lady Leo shared with us, I'm not sure if it's a good thing or not, but I rarely focus on the future anymore. For me, one of my two biggest fears has happened: the death of my mother. Prior to her passing, the only thing that truly raised my anxiety was her death, or the death of my children. Although her passing, in some people's eyes, broke me, today I realized that it was just the opposite. I was living in brokenness. Each time I put others before me. Each time I went without a need to ensure others' wants were met. And like those looking on, I thought I was beyond mental help. I had given up because I could not imagine my life without my mother. So therefore, I had no future to worry about. I'm feeling my tears behind my eyeballs here for you, Lady Leo. She goes on to say, it was at that point I started looking at my life for that moment. For that moment, concerned myself with those things that were right there. I began setting basic goals, like getting out of the bed for 2 hours a day. I had discovered that the concept of future had changed for me. That was 6 years, 8 months, and 24 days ago. I now work on reframing the worries of what might happen by not creating an ending in my mind, but acknowledge I'm uncertain to myself, and that just like in the past, whatever happens, I am capable of handling it. And I am surrounded by amazing, supportive friends. that I can call. Thank you, Lady Leo. That's beautiful. That is beautiful. That's okay, Denise. That's okay, friend. I get it. I totally understand. So thank you, Lady Leo. Exactly. I hear you. I hear you, Lynn. You're welcome, Lady Leo. I feel you. That was very moving. Yes. Yes. Thank you for sharing that with us. Right? And I love, right, your strategy is that the truth is, right, what we're thinking on or what's going on, we don't know the ending. We don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. We really don't know. We really don't know. But learn to trust. And that is really, my friends, what the healing journey is all about, is to learn that we are going to do our best to trust ourselves, that whatever tomorrow brings, I will meet it. I will meet it wholeheartedly, strong in my body. Exactly. Yes, exactly. And most of us are handling life better than we think we are. Each and every one of you, you are a walking miracle, my friends. All of us here, all of us. Given what we've been through, my friends, been a little emotional the last 24 hours. I think I posted in the group. I had a meltdown a couple of days ago. Just this heart just was overwhelmed with a lot of feelings. So I just had to let some of that go. So, but I hear you. I see you, I feel you, and I understand that struggle, EJ. I understand. And let's see, Lynn here says, it is what it is, and it will be. What will be, will be. Yep. Beautiful. Thanks, Lady Leo. No, exactly, Lynn. Hey, there's been a few times where I actually demonstrated a meltdown to these people in a closed Facebook group. Literally, I was on camera and I'm like, this is it, friends. This is what the process looks like. I'm going to have my cry here in front of you because I had no idea what that looked like. So yes, I had a few friends that are going through some really hard times right now, and I was holding that space over the weekend. Yeah, exactly. Or a temper tantrum. Yep. And so I just gave myself permission to have a really good cry. Yes, yes, Elizabeth, EJ, those are good. Snot and all, just breaking into sweats, just letting it all come on out. And, you know, my tears, I don't think were personally me, but my heart was hurting because my friends are hurting. And it's just like, as most of us here, if we could, We would want to take other people's burdens away from them. Many of us did growing up. I'll take your burden. I carry your pain. I will do that for you. Then I realized I can't do that. I need to take care of me and release for myself so I can hold the safe space to allow others to do that. Yes, Beverly, crying is a huge release. It's powerful. Tears are your truth. Tears are your grace. Tears are your witness. When we cry, there's so many parts inside of ourselves that doubt the truth of what we're experiencing or experienced or our stories. So when we cry, you're honoring your truth and you're honoring yourself. I hear you, Lynn. Sometimes it's there. And then, yes, for some people, tears are scary. And that was me, EJ. That, like I've shared with you guys, I was in a peer support group for about 5 years when I first started my healing journey. And it took me probably 2 years to get, to feel safe enough to express any feelings. And the tears were just as hard as any of the other feeling, because I was also like, wait, if I let these tears out, I will never stop. I won't stop crying. And there was definitely times during the healing journey, hey friends, where it felt like that I basically just, today I'm in bed crying, and I would just go through up and down. And eventually I became comfortable with the tears. And now I cry a lot, actually. Sadness, joy, probably just as much over joy, probably more joyful tears now than in the past. All right, Sue. Glad you made it home. Elizabeth says, I realized my mental health through the lockdown was quite good because of this support. Aw, I'm so glad to hear it, Elizabeth. I'm so glad to hear it. I know I'm doing better because of us here, because of our space. Right? It helps me to keep some routine going. This is it. This is my routine. Gotta keep it going. Gotta keep it going. Yes, exactly. Yeah. I get more anxious thinking about you guys when you disappear, and then my mind starts to wander. I always trust, but I'm like, I wonder how they're doing. I wonder what's going on. So Lynn says, when I was a kid, I wouldn't cry. I would never let myself cry, let any adult see me cry. Would not give anyone the satisfaction of seeing me broken. Me too. Hey, Periscope friends, welcome. I can relate. Lynn, anybody else? Hey, friend. I'm also talking to my friends here on YouTube. So, but I'm glad you're here. Welcome. How are you doing today? So, but one day I realized that being soft, open, right? Opened up my heart, being kind, being vulnerable, being gentle was actually a sign of strength. And that really resonated with me because I felt that, right, I had to be strong. If someone sees me crying, they know something has gotten to me. I hear you, Lynn. Bev says, yes, no one saw me cry. Yep, I hear you. Lady Leo says, EJ, I used to be terrified of my tears. I considered crying as a weakness. I would not cry to the point where I had ulcers. I have worked with Svava and I allow myself to show that emotion. Makes me happy to hear that, Lady Leo. You're making me cry just sharing that. So, but I actually now am kind of known for that. Few of my clients have reported back. It's like, hey, Svava, you taught me how to cry. You taught me to be okay with that. So it's our birthright. It is. And since these bodies know how to cry, there must be a reason, right? It's good. Same, but nowadays I really enjoy a good cry alone. I process the emotion and move on. I hear you, Elizabeth. I do too. I hear you. Standard refrain in my house growing up is, if you want to cry, I will give you something to cry about. I hear you, Lynn. I think there's a handful of people in this space who I've heard say that, right? Yep. That's right. Crying is a good relief. It's a great relief. Thank you, Lady Leo. Not sure my body knows how to cry, says EJ. I hear you, my friend. I hear you. It may take some time. It may take some time, but you're in the right space for it. You're here with us. We'll inspire you, right, team? We are in this together. Tears are, to me now, a sign of strength. So, yes, 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 yes. So I'm going to move back here to our, let's see, Facebook group here. Sue S gave me permission to share her comment today. And then I have Rob here as well. So you guys, you write so beautifully. So here it goes. Thank you, Sue S, so much for sharing this with us. She says, I worry that even if I get through everything that happened to me and accept myself completely, others will still reject me. I have always felt I don't fit in no matter what I do. I already feel like I'm a freak of nature because I feel different than everyone else, and that I'll only be known for the abuse and the trauma I sustained. I am hypervigilant at all times, and I worry that because I've been this way all my life, there is no stopping it. The scariest thing for me is waking up feeling something happened and that my mind has blocked it out. It doesn't last long, but PTSD really does a number on me, and the panic attacks are just another nightmare. Reframing these concerns is difficult for me because my reality is filled with fear, depression, and sometimes even the despair of wondering if it will ever end. My daily affirmations and meditation in the morning help for an hour or two, but then the pain sets in again, even if I'm distracted with doing service to others. It's very frustrating, but I keep trying new things and praying for better results. If you stick an ugly picture onto a beautiful frame, fancy frame, it doesn't make the picture look any better. It's still an ugly picture, and most of the time, I feel like that is me. My smile might be pretty, and that's what I allow people to see. But inside is dark, sad, and in pain. I hear you, my friend. I hear you, Sue S., loud and clear. My friends, can we validate and thank Sue S. for both sharing so vulnerably with us, and also let her know, right? If you can relate, please let her know. So thank you, Sue S. I understand. And I do understand the thinking that there is hope for others and that there may not be hope for me. Right? Thank you, Lynn. Thank you, Lynn. You are not alone, my friend. That almost made me cry. I can relate so much. Yes, I hear you. This is the beauty of community, right? When we hear other people share experiences that we thought were just us. So, thank you, Sue. Yes, yes. You are not alone. You are not alone. And on some days, right, like you say, starting the day with a positive intention, with a hope for you're going to feel good, right? You do your mindfulness, you say your prayers and set the tone for the day. And then sometimes few hours into it, what happens? Thanks, Lynn. Thank you, Lynn. We're so glad you're here with us. Thanks. Thank you, Lynn. But here's the thing. Yes. Yes. Right? When we have been living with that terror inside of our bodies, inside of our nervous system for so long, right? It takes time. It takes time. It takes, right? I wish I could tell you there's a quick fix, right? And we know there isn't. There isn't. And so much of our way of being has become so automatic because of that hypervigilance, because our nervous system activation, how we are hardwired to always be safe, hardwired to always expect the worst, always, right? There's just so much that gets tied into this. And so you guys have heard me say, you know, for I would carry my flashcards in my purse for a long time, because once I could feel the change, my state, right? I'm turning inwards, something triggered me, I'm going inwards, I'm expecting the worst. Now all of a sudden everybody that's in front of me is out to get me, right? Then I would pull out my cards and I would read off of them over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. I'm so glad that you are letting your tears flow, Sue, because we hear you. We see you. We feel you. That's right, Lynn. We didn't get this way overnight. Yes, and we can heal, we can restore, but what do we know? It takes time. It takes time. And it takes that daily, consistent practice, right? Why my books both are 365-day practice. And some days it's morning, noon, and night. Like I've set on my alarm, especially when things are hard, I will have my phone ring throughout my day to remind myself to check in, to remind myself to turn inwards for a minute and listen to what's going on inside. Right? We learn to be this way. We're learning to be different. Yes. And so that consistent, ongoing, broken record practice. And, right, to remember the reason why we're doing it. Reason why we are doing it. I hear you, EJ. I'm so sorry. I am so sorry. That is very, very hard. It's very hard. Very hard. And I'm so glad that you're here with us and that you are seeing, right? That maybe there's a part of you, we can help you normalize what you're going through, right? Because what we went through was not normal, but how our bodies are responding to it is normal. And we are slowly learning as fast as we can. And for most of us, it's not fast enough. And I know you're working so hard, and I know you're so tired of it all. Yes, that's right. Some days it's 5 minutes at a time. Sometimes it's one breath at a time. But I'm glad you're here. I am glad you're here because we are with you in this. We are here with you. That's right. Not fast enough. So I'm sorry again. I know this is not easy at all. That's right. It is 1 forward, 2 backs, 1 forward, 2 back. So, but you are doing a beautiful job. You are. You're doing an amazing job, actually. The way you're focusing on your health care and getting support for yourself, you're doing it. You are doing it. So thank you, Sue, for sharing. And we are holding up for each and every one of you guys, beautiful mirrors, mirroring back to you your strength, your courage, your compassion, your kindness, your joy, our humor. So keep coming, because we heal faster in groups. So I'm going to turn here now to Rob. Rob shared with us, he says, hold that thought. I'm going to get a sip of water. He goes on to say here, hey people, I fear change mostly and general anxiety around every daily task or interaction and big fear of random attacks. I like this post as it's very in line with CBT and how you're showing us to use evidence of what happens to counter our fears and what might happen. You all know I've been studying ancient Greek and Roman Stoicism. Well, that actually had a great influence on CBT and has taught me to accept things happening, good or bad, as experiences that produce feelings, which I wouldn't be able to feel if I was dead. Memento mori is the phrase they use, and another phrase is amor fati, or embrace everything. So in real terms for my daily life, hey friend. So in real terms for my daily life, that may translate as worrying about everyone in the shop, laughing for doing something stupid, or someone pointing at how weird they think I look. And instead of those fears stopping me going out, I think about the ancient philosophy and think how if it happens, it happens. I might feel bad for a bit, but I'm still alive. Still alive to feel bad, but it might not. And I'm still alive to feel good at another experience. It can sound like not caring about anything, but it's not nihilism at all. In fact, it's just not caring what negative people may think about you. Because the final stoicism trick is to choose positive role models and imagine what they would do in a situation. They call it wisdom of the sage. So I am blessed to have Svava and all of you, wise, compassionate tribe, to use as I overcome my fears. Svava would embrace it with love, for example, or Wanda wouldn't let anyone call her out, like a permanent backup force. Excuse me, friends. I love it, Rob. I so love it. That is beautiful. Thank you so much for sharing this. Yes. Right? And I can see the difference that it's making for you, Rob. I can see that. You're coming out of your shell more. I can see it. Because and that you know, one of the flashcards that I used to carry with me in my purse was that most of my anxiety used to be out in the world about what other people think of me. One of my cards was a reminder, right? What other people do is not about me. What other people are doing to meet their needs. They're not even interested in what I'm doing or what I'm up to. It was some version of that, right? What other people do is to meet their needs. It's not about me. But I would be over here anxious, socially anxious about being around people thinking they were judging or laughing at me. So I can relate to that, Rob. Not anymore, my friend. Not anymore. Just like we are here, we decide to come here, hang out, show up our most truest self, and see who wants to hang out. We're not everybody's cup of tea, right, Lynn? Like you said, I'm not everyone's cup of tea, just like everyone is not my drink of choice. I love that, Lynn. You are just full of those great sayings. That's right, Denise. I agree wholeheartedly. You are fantastic, Rob. And all of us here, will tell you a million times if you need to hear it. That's what we're holding up in this mirror right here, back to you. We think you are amazing. And that's right, Lynn. Other people's opinion of you, of me, it's none of our business. Thank you, Lady Leo, for putting that in there. Thank you. Happy birthday, Sharon. That reminds me, I should sing happy birthday for Sharon if she watches the replay. Of course, we want to celebrate our tribe member. And Elizabeth says here, that's why I like the self-nurturing culture as well as support groups, because it makes people less aggressive in their approach to relationships. Yep. That's how I choose to try and see it now. There you go. Use your statements to counter my fear. Great one from Lynn too. Yep. Yep. This, my friends, is how we encourage, support, and validate each other, right? Because trauma, when it disconnects us, our body literally takes over, like, nope, I'm going to run the show. I'm going to keep you surviving. I'm going to just go on autopilot. I know what's best for you. Don't need your thinking, logical mind involved at all, right? So coming back here, listening to each other, hearing each other's words, seeing each other's writings, slowly over time, it makes us realize, right? I'm going to hold up the picture for you guys, my Periscope friends here, quickly, right? The circle, we are stuck in here. Healing is about allowing our body and our mind to complete the cycle, right? And as we open, work with our body, help our nervous system to down-regulate, activate the part of our nervous system that taps into rest and digest, we drop down, or right, then up from our lizard brain online, come back fully online. All of a sudden we tap into our wisdom, we tap into our learned experience, we tap into our planning, goal setting, connecting, engaging. So, but we all know it can be rough out there, especially when we feel disconnected and isolated. So I hear you, Lynn. I hear you. Well, here's the thing. All humans have autopilot. All humans dissociate to a point. There is level of dissociation, right? Daydreaming, that's dissociation, a form of it. So it's slowly we come back online and stay present in our bodies, connected to our minds longer, and spend more time, right, present here. So good, Rob. Good. I'm so glad you are receiving all the love and appreciation. Take it in, my friend. Take that in, because we hear you, see you, appreciate you. Awesome, EJ. Awesome, my friend. That's great. That's great. Right? The more we hang out, the more, right, this becomes, it gets normalized, right? Because anything new activates the nervous system a little bit. So glad that you're here. So glad that you're here with us. So I hear you. That's hard. That's hard, EJ. I hear you. And it makes sense, right? Especially the last 2 months with the overwhelm, a lot of the uncertainty in the world right now. It's understandable. It is. So if there's any way that you can give yourself a little kindness, give yourself a little bit of kindness. There's a reason. Right? There's nothing wrong with your body. There's nothing wrong with your mind. Your body's working so hard, trying to heal itself. Trying to heal itself. Yes, gotta be safe out there, Lynn. Gotta be safe out there, Lynn. Well, we're just hitting our hour here, and I want to keep to our time. Of course, I know you guys can just shut it down if you're on a schedule right now, but I like to honor our hour. And I did pull a card for us. One day she decided, or he decided, to forgive herself. So I don't know who needed this gentle reminder today to forgive yourself. And for some, right, forgiveness feels too big. But how about acceptance? Just self-acceptance. And start with self-acceptance, then maybe some self-kindness, and then self-compassion, and then self-love. So, well, thank you, sweet friends, for being here. As always, I so appreciate you showing up here for each other. This is co-created. This is co-created of all of our hearts and spirits coming together to hold a safe space for each other. So, and just a reminder, please give me a thumbs up here on YouTube. It helps my videos reach more people. And if you haven't already, remember to subscribe, and that way you will get notifications when I do go live. And thank you too. Love you back, Lady Leo. And just to remind everybody, I will be back here on Thursday, 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, and I will be on Facebook tomorrow and Facebook on Friday. So until next time, thank you, my friends. No, Lynn, I'm only on YouTube Tuesdays and Thursdays. So I'll send you the reminder. All right, my lovelies. Have a beautiful rest of your evening. Take good care. I'll see you next time. Bye, Rob. Bye, everyone. Have a good evening. Take care.